Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Examiner of this final assignment examination. Good morning or good afternoon, Mrs. Kiki Patmawati, the first examiner, and Ms. Sylvia Rahayu, the second examiner. In this special occasion, I am Kiki Patmawati, a student of English Education Department, Faculty Education of IKIP Siliwangi. I would like to thank to the examiner who given me an opportunity to present my thesis with the title Teaching Writing Using Short Story Through WhatsApp. Well, my thesis consists 5 chapters. So now I am going to present my presentation. In this first slide, we have 6 outlines. The first is background of the research. The second is literary objective of the research. The third is literature review. The fourth is research methodology. The fifth is result of the research, and the sixth is conclusion. Move to another slide. It's a background of the research. In this background of the research, we have the definition of writing. We have the definition of discovery learning. The definition of writing is the one of the most difficult skill for second languages learner to master, not only generating and organizing idea, but also in translating the ideas into script. Dayono says, discovery learning is student organize the material learner with final form. So stated by Sadikin is online learning is using the internet network with accessibility, connectivity, flexibility, and ability to bring up various type of learning interaction. And then next is about short story. According to Macmillan, short story is a brief work of prose narrative. It means that a short story is a short prose narrative that usually can be read in a short time. And then, move to another slide. In this slide, we have 5 concepts. The first is to find scenario implementation of the teaching writing using short story through WhatsApp. And the second, to investigate teacher and student responses to using of WhatsApp in learning short story. And the third is to discover student difficulties learning writing using WhatsApp through short stories. The last is to examine teacher difficulties in learning writing using WhatsApp through short story. Next is literature review. In this literature review has indicator of discovery learning and advantages online learning. The first is indicator of discovery learning. 1. Determine learning objectives. 2. Doing identification of student characteristic. 3. Determining the materialism. 4. Determining topic that must be inductive student learning. 5. Developing material by giving example, illustration, assignment for student to learn. 6. Organizing learning topic starting with simple to complex. From concrete to abstract, and from the inactive stage, iconic to symbolic stage. And 7 is evaluating the process and student learning outcomes. Is the advantages of online learning is the delivery of learning materials become more presentable, systematic, and structured. Next, research methodology. This research has conducted descriptive qualitative method. Nasaji said, Qualitative research, however, is more holistic and often involves a rich collection of data from various research to gain a deeper understanding of individual participants, including their opinions, perspective, and attitude. And who is a participant of research? A participant of research is student and teacher. Teacher is an observer, and a student is a participant. Next is research instrument. In research instrument, we have 4 consists. The first, observation sheet, questionnaire, test, and interview. Next, data collecting technique. So in the first meeting, I gave my student document and observation checklist. And the second meeting, I gave student observation checklist, test, questionnaire, and interview. Next is the data analysis procedure. The data analysis procedure has reduction of the data, display of the data, and conclusion of verification of the data. Result and the research. In this result and the research has the scenario of implementation of teaching writing using short story through WhatsApp. In one first meeting, the teacher give the student stimulation and problem statement. In the second meeting, the teacher give the student data collection, data processing, verification, and generalization. And then, student and teacher responses. Student response is the data from questionnaire show the most of the student gave positive response. And the teacher response, the data from interview show a good response to be used of discovery learning through short story. Next is student difficulties and teacher obstacle. In student difficulties, most student difficulties are in content, vocabulary, and grammar. In the teacher obstacle, the data obtained from the interview and observation checklist show the obstacle faced by teacher is lack of the student activity, students are not responsive during in the learning process, and lack of confidence. The last slide is conclusion. In the conclusion, we can get 1. Teaching and learning writing short stories using discovery learning through WhatsApp were running well. 2. The implementation of teaching writing using short stories through WhatsApp got positive responses from the teacher and student. 3. There were 2 difficult faced by student, the lack of vocabulary and grammar. 4. There were 3 obstacles faced by teacher, lack of student activity, students are not responsive, and students are not confident. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thank you for your nice attention.